Good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. You know, in each one's life, a little rain must fall, and it's been raining like a mother humper this 2020. I want to get rid of this year. I want to get on to bigger and better things. Heck, I just like to get back to normal. This coronavirus and this year, man, you know, it's hard to believe that 6 months ago I was in Miami at the frickin' Super Bowl. Hundreds of thousands of people hanging out. Got to go down to Miami Beach, man, you know. Saw the set of First Take and everything. Was at NFL Experience where literally hundreds of thousands of people went through at the game with like 75,000 fans. And now, 6 months later, in New Jersey, you can't have more than 500 people together, and they can't have fans in the stands for a football game. That's if we're going to have football. It's insane how the world has literally turned upside down. So, the NFL, the NFLPA are finally beginning to get their agreements together. There will be no preseason games this year. Let me say that again one more time. The NFLPA and the NFL have agreed that there will be no preseason games this year. And the NFL will be spending $75 million on COVID tests. $75 million. So they're not getting the free test. They're not having the players go wait in line for 10 hours to try and get the test. No, 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 no. They're paying for these things, and they're paying a good chunk of money, as well they should. Because at this point, they have had 59 players test positive, as well as, I think, a total of 95 NFL players and or NFL personnel that have tested positive. So, yeah, we've had one owner. We know Sean Payton had. We know Zeke Elliott had. We know offensive lineman for the Rams, Wadsworth, is that what? I think his name's Wadsworth, has, well as others. So it's no joke. It's out there. Now, the fortunate thing is everybody seems to be okay. Wadsworth was saying that I think his mother-in-law was in the hospital for 5 days and got out. That's fortunate for them that, you know, they're doing well. Not everybody is. So today, rookies, basically across the NFL, have been reporting for their COVID testing, and they will have tests every single day for 2 weeks. And hopefully, positive results will be under 5%. And if that's the case, they'll go to testing every other day. The interesting thing is this. It might be the safest place on the football field. I want you to think about that for a second. For NFL players, the safest place they may actually be will be on the football field. Because everybody's going to be tested before the games. Everybody's going to be tested when they go into the facilities. They're going to be tested like crazy. It's when they're not at the facilities that you have to worry about. All the people, you know, when you go to practice, you know everybody in there has been tested, okay? Everybody's keeping social distance in there. Everybody's wearing a mask who's not actually out on the field. So you should actually feel safe at practice. The problem is, if you take your ass to the club or are about to eat or to a bar, hey, if you're an NFL player, this is what you need to look at. I've said this a couple of times. But honestly, the teams aren't in a bubble, but you need to live your life like it's in a bubble. You got to look at it from work to not work. I'm not going to be around people that aren't tested. Seriously. That means you're not going to a restaurant and eating, because I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I've been saying this for a long time. I understand how air conditioning works. If you understand anything about AC, you have your air that comes out the vents. You know where it's nice and cool. Oh yeah, let me go get by the vent so I can get chill. And then you have your return, which is on the opposite end. And the reason why is, as it puts in cold air, it needs to bring air into the system to make it move. So your registers are usually on the floor or on the ceiling, and your return is opposite of it. So if your registers are on the floor, then that means that the ceiling is your return. So what it's doing is it's pulling that air out of that vent back into the system, and it's circulating it again. So when you go to that restaurant and you say, oh man, I saw the waitress there, man, she's wiping down the tables, we got salt packets, we're not using pepper shakers anymore, everything's closed up. But here's the thing. When you're in that restaurant without your mask on, you're breathing. That air is just kind of like circulating. And it's getting through that system and just spinning around. Your chances of getting it, I guarantee you. I'm not a doctor. But I understand how heating and air works, okay? Believe me, I understand how it works. And you're in there, you're going to get around the germs. And the longer you're in there, the more the chance you are. So if you're an NFL player, hey, I got to go to work, and then I got to go keep my ass at home. Get yourself a cook. Somebody's just going to cook your food for you. Or delivery. Or a significant other who's going to keep her ass at home to make sure you got all you need at home so you don't go anywhere else. Because we need you healthy on the field, not spreading the coronavirus to the rest of the team. It's that simple. This is just like every play on the field. One mistake, the play fails. One mistake by one player, team's got corona, and you're out. Now, I am 100% happy about the idea about the NFL players getting back to work. The reality is, training camps open up on Jet D's birthday, the 28th. The players will be tested all before that. The veterans won't actually report till like August 4th. They're probably going to have about 21 days of strength and conditioning. Then they'll have about 10 days of practices with basically helmets and t-shirts. Then they'll actually have about 8 to 10 days or 8 to 10 practices in pads. And then the opening games in September. We're going to see a lot of sloppy football. We're going to see a lot of people get injured early. It's not going to be football as we know it, but at least it's going to be something. And they still have a lot of things left to iron out. We heard about teams basically flying in, playing the games, and flying out. Not staying at hotels. Not being anywhere for any length of time. Which is going to be interesting. Like, let's say you're the Seattle Seahawks and you got to play, say, the Carolina Panthers or the Miami Dolphins. That's a long plane ride. But at least we're getting a little bit closer. No preseason games. Wow. Vegas gonna make a whole lot of money this year on gambling. You can best believe. Well, it's been a long day, and I'm gonna go carry my happy ass to bed. God willing, tomorrow will be another day. I'll see you guys soon.